Hi guys, thanks so much for tuning into this video. I am Jay Theo, and today we're going to be talking about embracing femininity in the Black gay community. Now, the reason I wanted to make this video is because I feel like still to this day, effeminate men and just femininity in general within our community still gets so much hate. It's so demonized, and I feel like we really need to get to a point where we are more accepting and, just like I said, more embracing of femininity in our community. We need to understand that this is a great aspect of our community and also a big influence to our gay culture. You know, what's so ironic about the Black gay community is that once you make that declaration to yourself that you are gay or that you're LGBTQ, or if you come out, you think that you can be free. But the ironic thing about our community is that we have such a desire for masculinity, and that masculinity is right and femininity is bad, that a lot of us still cannot be ourselves even after we come out. Even after we declare to ourselves that we are gay, that we are LGBTQ, we still feel like we cannot fully be ourselves because this obsession, this desire for masculinity within our community. And don't get me wrong, I cannot say that I have not fallen victim to the desire for masculinity, especially when I was younger. Oh, I want a masculine man, I want to date a masculine boy, all of that stuff. And don't get me wrong, I do definitely look for personally a more balanced partner when it comes to masculinity and femininity. So, you know, we all have our thoughts on what we want for, what we desire when it comes to a partner. But at the end of the day, I think overall we need to be more open and accepting to a more fluid gender expression within our community, and not being so hung up on the level of masculine or femininity that someone has. And also realizing that a lot of masculine traits are toxic. Now, on my channel, I've definitely brought up hypermasculine a couple times, and I've chatted about it, so I'm not going to go in big detail hypermasculine and what toxic masculinity does. But our obsession with it is problematic, and it really makes living your life as a more feminine or effeminate man so difficult in our community, to the point where sometimes it seems like, especially when the dating world, if you're a more feminine man, you are less desirable. Nobody wants you. That masculinity is the only right way, and it makes a lot of us feel like, yet again, we cannot be ourselves. Even as adults, if we want to find a partner, we cannot fully be ourselves because that's not desirable. It's not desirable to be feminine. It's not desirable to be someone who has a more feminine gender expression, and that is not okay. And I really want our Black community to release ourselves from the shackles of masculinity and just feeling that the only way to be Black is to be masculine. And I know a lot of that is rooted in our history, you know, back in the day, being slaves, dealing with butt breaking, and all the stuff that slave owners did to really strip us away our masculinity. And I get that that desire to always want to be masculine is so close to Blackness, but we will continuously have violence towards trans women and effeminate gay men, and just issues in our community, and even just the levels of depression and mental illness that is birthed from someone not feeling like they are accepted. We will continuously have those problems if we do not get a hold on balancing out our understanding of gender expression and stop forcing these stereotypes of what it means to be a Black man and what it means to be Black on ourselves. We should be able to be more fluid and more expressive in our LGBTQ community. We don't have some standard we have to face as men in the Black LGBTQ community. We're not straight. We don't have to live up to these high masculine ideals. We don't have that same level of systemic pressure. And I really want us, when it comes to our attraction, our desire, to be more open-minded to different levels of gender expression. Like, the fact that I have makeup, I wear concealer, and sometimes I'll use like eyebrow pins and stuff like that when I want to spruce up my look a little bit. And I've dated guys, when they go to my bathroom, they see like my little makeup, my makeup tools. They're like, oh, do you wear makeup? Do you beat your face? Like, I just want to make sure. Like, people really get concerned that I have makeup in my house. Or even some guys aren't a big fan of me getting my nails done. And it's just little things like that where it's just like, we really need to be more open-minded to our gender expression. When I see more effeminate men who deal with the level of demonizing our community for expressing their femininity, or for loving to wear wigs or wear weaves or get their nails done and things like that, it just breaks my heart that we are still at such a point where we don't include them and we don't bring them into our community, and we try to ostracize and demonize them. When at the end of the day, effeminate gay men honestly make a lot of what our culture is today. And trans women. Trans women make a lot of what our culture is in the gay community. And it's so ironic that those are the people that we in our community love to shit on. We love to shit on trans women and effeminate gay men and make it seem like they don't deserve love and they don't deserve to be desired. And it really just pisses me off, because it's another way that we within our community are now oppressing people within our community. And I just really want for us Black gay men to release ourselves from the chokehold of the obsession with masculinity, and that's the only right way to be. Because until we do that, we will continuously be fetishized by other races for wanting to be aggressive and dominant, because we push that on ourselves. We make ourselves feel like we have to be aggressive, we have to be dominant, we have to be all of these things to be a Black man. And until we start releasing ourselves from that and accepting more of our Black brothers and sisters to allow them to express themselves however they see fit, we will continue to have the problems that we have within our community. We continuously be fetishized. We continuously will have to uphold these stereotypes of what it means to be a Black man. And that's just the battle that we're going to continuously have to fight. Now, I'm not saying this is something that can be fixed overnight. This is definitely not something that can be fixed overnight. But if we all start doing our part to be more accepting and be more open to different levels of gender expression, that will be a good start. You know, I think that will be a really, really good start. And now, don't get me wrong. Like, there are other, like, not only the history of slavery, that it helps induce our desire to be masculine. Also know a lot of us gay men have used masculinity as a defense mechanism. Growing up, if you sound like a girl, talk like a girl, dress like a girl, whatever, like a girl, getting bullied, then yeah, you tend to use masculinity or a deeper voice or fighting as a way to defend yourself. And I get that that's a part of our defense mechanism, but guys, we have to start breaking those barriers down now that we are adults. We have to be more accepting of feminine men and not demonize them and ostracize them the same way people wanted to do to us when we were just figuring out ourselves as gay kids. So I just think we really need to do better as a community when it comes to accepting and being more open to different levels of gender expression as Black gay men. You know, because I feel like sometimes in our community, a lot of masculine facing men like to dehumanize effeminate men. And especially when it comes to dating, I've seen so many times comments and people said that, I've seen comments on social media and just people saying this in general that, oh, if I wanted to date a girl, I would just be straight, or I would just date a girl. As if effeminate men or more feminine facing or someone who has a more fluid gender expression is still not a man. Who are you to determine who is a man or not? Who are you to determine that? And that adds to the toxicity within our community. But in the gay community, we're supposed to be all love and rainbows and everybody gets along. That is a lie. And even within, like I said, within our Black gay community, that is a lie. And until we start being more accepting and more open-minded to our own, like I said, we're going to continue to have the homophobia and all the issues from everyone else in society if we can't even be more accepting of our own people in our community. And at the end of the day, our thoughts on femininity are so elementary. What people wear, how people talk, all those things. But do you know a lot of feminine characteristics are heightened emotional intelligence, are a nurturing personality, someone who can be understanding, someone who can be caring. Those also are feminine characteristics that nobody talks about. And those things are very, very useful in a relationship. Somebody that has a high level of emotional intelligence, somebody that can be understanding, somebody that can be caring, that is useful when you are dating and in a relationship. And a lot of us men desire this masculinity, but a lot of masculine men do not have high levels of emotional intelligence. They are not caring. They don't have empathy. They're not taught to have empathy. So you usually are in a toxic relationship when you date someone who is very, very, very hyper masculine. And when you date someone who is more feminine or has more agenda, takes on more feminine characteristics, they tend to also have more levels of understanding, higher levels of emotional intelligence, and tend to be more caring. So let's look at all the characteristics of femininity before we dehumanize people and just write them off as undesirable. It's sick. Lastly, like I said, and not to beat a dead horse, but once we start being more open to more fluid levels of gender expression, we will really start to fight those battles of internalized homophobia within our community, within ourselves. We will then start seeing the world accepting us more if we just start accepting our own more. And at the end of the day, femininity and effeminate men and trans women have had such a big influence on gay culture and our culture in general. A lot of the sayings we say, a lot of the fashions we wear started with effeminate gay men and trans women. So let's stop dehumanizing the people that really inspire and create so much culture that we love today. And also, I feel like us being more open to meeting, connect with different types of people that are not like us. You never know who can change your life, who can influence you, who can make you a better person. So can we please stop dehumanizing and ostracizing effeminate men, femininity, and a more fluid gender expression in our community? Femininity is a beautiful, beautiful thing. You know, even if you want to tie femininity to women, aren't women beautiful human beings? Aren't your moms, aren't your best friends, aren't these women in your life beautiful and inspiring human beings? So why wouldn't you want those same characteristics in a man? Why wouldn't you? That's just something to think about. But overall, you know, this is a little bit of a rant, y'all. I had a little bit of wine today, a little bit of rosé, you know, for this video. But overall, we just really have to stop dehumanizing and ostracizing femininity in our community. Femininity is so important and has such a great influence to the gay community. And at the end of the day, femininity isn't all of it. Gender expression is a spectrum, and we all have feminine and masculine characteristics. So let's stop trying to place everybody in a box of femininity and masculinity, and let's just look at everybody as people, and let's just be more open to understanding all different types of people. And when we get more understanding of having more diversity in our community, then we will also have less issues of mental health, less issues of depression, suicide, because feminine men in our community have higher levels of depression. They have higher levels of self-harm because we aren't even accepted by our own. And at the end of the day, I just want to challenge all Black gay men to fight your inner homophobe. I know we grew up with people calling us girls and telling us we talk like a girl and all those things. Whatever demons you had to fight growing up, I get it. But now that we are adults, we really have to fight that internalized homophobia. We have to fight that inner homophobe. We have to fight that, because the moment we start being more accepting of people that are more femme-facing or have more fluid levels of gender expression, we will see the numbers fall when it comes to suicide, self-harm, depression in our Black gay community. So with all that being said, guys, thanks so much for tuning into this video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next video.